Hey everyone, welcome back to Our Family Nest. So I thought for today's video, I would just do a little sit down, chit chat, update you guys on just things going on, mental health update, that sort of thing. I had posted on my Instagram yesterday. I was like, do you guys want me to clean and organize my office or do a mental health life update? And I believe the clean my office won by like 8 or 9%. So I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna do both videos. I'm gonna film this one today, do the office one tomorrow. So that video will be coming on Friday, so stay tuned for that. I just have a lot I need to deal with in my office. I haven't done any like new files for 2024. I haven't cleaned my office in a long time. I couldn't tell you the last time I dusted these shelves and stuff back here. So I recently did that in our bedroom. What was it, like a week and a half ago? And like had a whole garbage bag full of stuff to just get rid of, and you know, all the little dust bunnies that hide in the corners and stuff. So yeah, I'll be dealing with that tomorrow. So I just thought, good time to just sit and chit chat with you guys about stuff. You know, I'm never one to want to do that like new year, new me. These are all my goals. These are the things I'm going to do different this year, because to be honest, I would be really good at the new year, new me if it started in like April or June. But when it's winter time like this, the whole weather, cold, dreary Michigan, you know, it's just not very motivating. So the fact that I did make the goal to walk every day, 30 minutes minimum, sometimes it's 40, 45 minutes, depending on if I'm watching a show while I'm doing it or just listening to music or whatever. And I've stuck with it since January 1st. I allow myself to take one day off a week, which is always a Saturday or a Sunday, and it's been great. Like right now, even at 6 o'clock, and I feel like, do I really want to go walk after this? No. I wish I was better at getting up and just doing it first thing in the morning, but I am so not a morning person. It would be easier for me to get on the treadmill and walk for 30 minutes at midnight than it would to do it at 9 a.m. So I don't know, raise your hand if you are the same way. I'm just not a like get things done in the morning type person, but I could stay up till 2 a.m. if I needed to clean the house or whatever. And we'll probably vlog on Thursday as well. I actually have a nice little surprise for him he doesn't even know about yet. So that'll be fun. I like just having like little things like that to look forward to. And rather than like tell him where we were going and what we were doing, I don't know, it makes it a little more fun to like, oh, I have a surprise, don't make plans Thursday kind of thing. So as for life updates, there's really not like a whole lot to share. I even had posted on my Instagram, if you guys had any questions, things you wanted me to cover in this video, drop them in the box. And one of them was like, give an update on all the kids. How are they doing? Really hasn't been any changes since the last time I updated you guys on all the kids. Carly's in school full-time, online, from home still, and she has biology this semester with a lab, which is crazy that you can do biology online, but she is. Blake's in school. I think he's on his 3rd class. He does online school where you just do one class at a time, but I think you change classes like every 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. Everything's going well with Andrew. I think they're just waiting for the nicer weather to start looking for a house. Nothing crazy to share about Chase. He's working a lot right now. Let's see, any updates about Ken? Not really, kind of same old, same old. He's just been busy with work. Things are always slow for him around the holidays because not a lot of doctors like to answer emails or phone calls. And then even like the hospitals and stuff, they're like, contact me after the 1st of the year. So January tends to be pretty busy for him. And busy is good when you're self-employed, of course. As for me, like work-wise, I don't know if you guys noticed that on my Instagram and my TikTok, I've just been trying to post more. I think it's fun. I like to post like things that are kind of funny. I love the idea of like making somebody laugh, or you know, maybe sharing something that I bought that I like. I don't know, just doing what I see other people doing on social media. When I'm scrolling through my Instagram or TikTok, like what makes me stop and watch? And I've been paying like more attention to the people I follow and what kind of content they share, and just trying to have more fun with it, I guess, is at the end of the day my goal. I don't think I've ever talked about this in a video, actually. When I think I talked about it on Instagram or wrote like an Instagram story, but I haven't like officially talked about it. Last year, end of August, early September, when I started doing digital marketing, basically what I was doing is there was a course that taught you how to make money online with selling digital products through social media. I found after doing it for 4 months, which I did make money, I made from September to the end of the year, which I really didn't work hard on it in December at all. I feel like around the holidays is just like, I don't know, I don't like to like push buy this, buy that when people are like trying to be careful with how they spend their money around the holidays because it's, you know, Christmas. So I kind of took a break around that time. But overall, as the months were going on, it just started to feel like I never was at a place where I felt comfortable. I felt like I was spending so much time watching how other people were selling the courses and the guides on how to make money online, that it all felt like we were constantly copying off of each other, and I started to not feel like authentic to myself. And Ken and I had many conversations about why didn't I create my own course on how to make YouTube content, how to grow your channel, how to get subscribers, you know, kind of go back to the early days of when I first started Our Family Nest and the types of things that I did that gained traction. And I was like, it makes complete sense. It really does. I would feel more comfortable selling like my own product instead of a product that thousands of other people are also selling. But I was like, do I really want to do that? Do I want to create my own course? And I'm not going to say like never say never. I'm not saying that's never going to happen. Maybe someday that will feel like something I'm interested in. But like as of right now, I'm like, I just didn't feel passionate enough about it to move forward with that idea at this moment in time. I also think that there was like the strong feeling of I was doing more of the same thing and I wanted to do something different than what I already do. So here it was like I'm supposed to be creating content for Our Family Nest, but then also create content for this other account that's like a business account to sell digital products. And I just felt like all I was doing was on my phone all the time. And it felt very draining and I just wasn't passionate enough about it. And I don't think that you can be good at something like long term unless you feel a really strong passion for it. So in terms of my mental health, it's weird because I definitely feel way better than I did years ago when I couldn't sleep or couldn't fall asleep, basically. Was going to therapy and just struggling with anxiety, you know? I don't feel like that lately at all. Instead, what I feel is more days or moments, hours throughout a day where I feel sad for no reason. And I don't know why I use the word sad instead of depressed because it just feels so like, I don't know, depressed to me or depression is such a strong word. And I know it could be way worse than what it is. It's very mild, especially because it often passes and doesn't last for more than even a day. But I find myself having these moments where I feel like I'm looking at my life and myself from like the outside in and constantly having this overwhelming feeling of needing change, needing something new, like something needs to happen. And I truly feel like just in my journaling and trying to just work through this on my own, I truly feel that a lot of it comes from having so many years of my life of being so busy all the time. Having multiple businesses, having children that were busy with multiple sports and activities. You know, there's times when Ken and I would have to split up for the weekend and he's gone with Chase at wrestling and I'm out of town at a dance competition and it's go, 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 constant planning. And now that I have so much more free time, I feel like my brain doesn't know how to adjust to, all right, what are you doing this weekend? Nothing. Well, how do you deal with that? I don't know. And it feels like scary sometimes. So I've really tried to focus a lot lately on when I get those feelings. You know how some people have like affirmations where they look in the mirror and they're like, you are beautiful, you are smart, all that. I don't say affirmations to myself. Instead, what I do is I go through a list mentally of all my blessings, of all the things that I have to feel thankful for. And I tell myself, there's no reason that you should feel sad or depressed about these things that you're feeling today, because your family is healthy. Everybody's on a good path. Everybody's doing great. I have a husband who supports me 100%. Any crazy idea that I come up with, he's never looked at me and said, no, you're not doing that. Like, I could literally wake up tomorrow and say, I need to go to Greece for 2 weeks and do research for this book that I'm gonna write. And he'd be like, okay, when are you going? Do I get to come with you? Or not even, I don't think he would ask if he could go. He would just assume he's going. Like, he's just so supportive. And I know that's huge. Not everybody has that in their life. I also find myself at night, you know, Ken always falls asleep before me, which he has to. If I'm like getting tired and feeling like, okay, I need to go to sleep, I'll be like, okay, time to go to sleep. And I need him to fall asleep first before I can fall asleep. It's crazy, I know. That's just how my mind works. But if I'll like turn the TV off or put my book down, whatever it is that I was doing, it's like, okay, I'm ready to fall asleep. And I get that feeling of, wait, I don't think I can fall asleep right now. Something doesn't feel right. I'll immediately almost kind of like have this inner dialogue with myself and sort of laugh about it. Like, of course you're eventually gonna fall asleep. It might not be in a minute, it might not be in 5 minutes, but you are gonna fall asleep. And what are you afraid of? Nothing bad's gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna get anxious because you're in control of that. And back before, when my anxiety was really bad with being able to fall asleep, I would like sometimes hop out of bed really quick and pace the room. And sometimes that vision pops up in my head of, oh no, I need to get up, I need to walk around. And the minute I do, I like this can tell myself, you don't need to get up, you don't need to walk around, because it's not gonna change anything. If anything, it's just gonna make it that much longer before you can fall asleep. So just stay where you're at, you're gonna be fine. And I literally just talk through it. I'm gonna look at my phone. What else did I write down earlier today? And then I'll hop over and then I'll look on Instagram and see what other questions you guys posted for me there. I wrote this. It's funny how like hours later I'll read something and I'm like, should I say that? I still do a lot of times feel like I'm struggling with finding my purpose. I think that's my biggest thing. And I remember when I did the digital marketing stuff, that was kind of like my pitch, my direction with my content sometimes was, I want to do this because it gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me a job that I'm working on each day. And it did help with that by far. It just, I felt like conflicted with the fact that I'm already doing social media kind of as a job. You know what I mean? So it just felt like more of the same thing in a sense. Oh, a lot of times people will ask me, what are like some of my coping strategies or ways that I do deal with when I'm feeling anxiety, and let's just say, and or depression. And I feel like I work really hard to find little hobbies and things that I enjoy to take my mind off of whatever it is that's going on in my head that day. And I do believe that's why I read as much as I do, especially this time of year. I mean, it's only January 23rd and I think I've read 10 books already this month. That's like a new book every other day. Because when you're reading or you're binge watching a show, your brain gets to kind of like go on vacation. I'm completely immersed when I read a book. I'm right there with those characters, watching whatever is happening happen. When I'm watching TV, like binge watching a show or watching a movie, I don't sit and scroll on my phone and deal with like other things at the same time. I'm immersed in the show, unless I'm like posting about The Bachelor or something, you know, something happening on TV. I'll pick up and post about it and then I'm putting my phone right back down. So if you're looking for ways to like deal with your anxiety, you just have to make a list of what are some activities and things that I can do that work for me to help me get my mind off reality. That's why I like to color. Honestly, even the getting on the treadmill, the walking every day, it does help. It pulls your mind away from, you know what, it's 6 o'clock, it's crummy outside, it's cold, I can't leave, I can't do anything, there's nowhere to go or do anything, and allowing yourself to feel that like sadness and depression. Go for a walk on the treadmill, get some exercise. Even if you don't have a treadmill or a gym in your house, you can walk back and forth, you can lay down, you can do some sit-ups. There's this big thing going around I see all over social media, women doing wall Pilates. Check out something new that you've never done before. Develop some new interests. Learn how to knit or crochet. Make a big chunky blanket that Carly's been working on. Just look up a YouTube video on how to make a chunky knit blanket using your fingers. She doesn't even use like knitting needles or anything. She does it with her hands. So I've always thought about like, gosh, people probably think, wow, she reads so much or watches so much TV or has all this free time to do these extra activities. It's because I'm always doing something. You know, I'm not on my phone a lot, to be honest. I don't like to be on my phone. I feel like actually being on my phone makes me feel worse at times. So maybe that's something you need to evaluate about yourself. Maybe you're spending too much time on your phone and you need to focus on trying to do some other things that bring you joy and happiness. Tips for grocery shopping with rising food prices. It's so stressful. You are not wrong, Lauren. I find that if I make a grocery list, write down exactly what I need for the meals that I plan on having that week in terms of dinners, and then for like lunch, I like to just have like tuna wrapped in a tortilla or a sandwich. I like to make egg salad or a regular salad. So I buy like all those ingredients as well. I feel like I spend way, way less money. I've also started shopping at a different grocery store. I feel like I spend less money, and I think it's because they have less to choose from. It's a way smaller grocery store, and I just feel like all the enticing extras are all throughout the store, and I just don't buy as much. I make a list, I go, I get what I need. All right, a lot of questions on like, how do I deal with depression? How do I deal with anxiety? I've kind of already talked about that. I feel like if you have specific like question or something specific that you're dealing with, pop into my Instagram DMs. Like I talk to a lot of people back and forth about different things going on in their life. Somebody will say, hey, I had this happen with a friend. What would you do? Or how do you feel? Was I wrong? Like I'm always chatting with people in my Instagram DMs, and I love that. I think an important part of social media is being able to connect with other people and feel like there's actually a purpose behind it rather than just like, oh, I'm posting so everyone can see, you know? All right, last question. This is a good place to end, I think. Are you still thinking about possibly downsizing? So here's the deal on that. I have my little realtor app, and I check it probably every few days, every 3, maybe 4 days, or I think, ooh, I haven't checked it in a while. I don't feel like a lot of houses are going up for sale on the market right now, not in this area, because I don't feel like too many people want to move right in the middle of winter. I'm sure it'll pick up in the spring. Our attitude towards it right now is if the perfect house would go up on the market, and I think that I've briefly mentioned this before, if the perfect scenario presents itself, I feel like we would move now. If it doesn't happen, that's okay too. I'm not in any rush in terms of like, oh, we need to be out by spring or summer. Like we don't have a deadline, and I'm not gonna like purposely put our house up for sale and be forced to buy something and move into something that doesn't fit what we're looking for. Like I know it's gotta be a ranch. I would prefer it to have a little bit of property so we don't have, like I don't wanna be like in the middle of a neighborhood with, you know, house like that. It's hard once you've been spoiled with a certain scenario to go back to that. Like I didn't realize how much I would enjoy all this privacy. So yeah, I guess basically to answer the question is, I don't know, could be this year, could not. So we'll see, it remains to be seen. So I guess that's gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any further questions, drop them in the comments below. Reach out to me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram and my TikTok, they're down below. Make it a great day, and I will see you guys back here on Friday. Bye guys.